Okay, I got a new shaft that I put in the XJ. I bought one off of Andreas because the other one was pretty worn. So I thought what I would do before I put the oil pan back on is make a quick video so people that aren't familiar with this can see what really goes on. So this is the shaft. Here's fifth gear, and you can see that it's got cutouts here where it fits on the spline, and these are the dogs that everybody talks about. And these dogs engage second gear, and you can see right there where it's kind of worn a little bit, where it slides past, it doesn't engage fully. And then we have third gear, and then we have fourth gear, and fourth gear is similar. Again, it's a little difficult to see, but there's a dog down inside there. There's three of them, just like fifth gear. It engages with first gear, and then out on the end is the middle drive gear. Now the thing that happens too is fifth gear is fixed to the shaft, but second gear freewheels, third gear freewheels on the shaft, fourth is similar to fifth, but first gear also freewheels on the shaft. So from here, let's walk around to the bike. I'll show you a couple other things. Here's the clutch laying in here, and on the back of the clutch you see a couple of gears. And then this is my oil pump, and there's a gear on the oil pump that drives it. So up on the shaft where the clutch mounts, right here, this is the primary shaft. It's driven by the high-vo chain, which connects to the crankshaft. So when the crank is spinning, it drives this, and this transfers to the clutch. And then this little gear up here is connected to the shift fork, but that connects the clutch to this, to the gear on the oil pump that I showed you just a second ago. And then one other thing I wanted to mention, I think it was Tom B from the UK pointed out when he put this back together. I know guys have had a lot of trouble getting the countershaft back in, especially if they swap that washer around. And what he suggested you do is just tap on the end of this shaft a little bit, and it'll drive it in towards the other side case just enough for that shaft to drop in. I can tell you, I swapped the washer on this, and I messed around with it for a couple, 2 or 3 hours over 2 different days, and I could get one side down all the way or the other side down all the way, but the shaft was cocked enough that I couldn't get it in and get it completely in. But once I drove that shaft over just a little bit, it dropped right in about a minute and a half for me, so that worked good. That's a great tip. So what I'm going to do now, walk back around to the other side. I got a buddy of mine who's going to spin the tire, and as he does, we're going to shift through the gears so that you can see what happens. It's a little dark, but down in there you can see the high-vo chain. Here's the shift drum, and then I showed you the other shaft, but here it is, the new one in the case. So this is fifth gear, and that's second, third, this is fourth, first gear, and then this is what we call the middle drive gear. And you can see down below that it drives this gear, which transfers power through your middle drive and then down the drive shaft to your final drive. So we spin this a little bit and we'll watch what happens to the shift forks. The other thing, if I hold this at the right angle, you can look down through this hole and you can see the clutch, the shaft that the clutch mounts to, and we can see how that changes speed. So if I grab, and here it is, here's where I'm going to hang on to this and shift it by hand. So it's in first gear right now. If I shift it into neutral, remember I showed you on the other shaft how second, third, and first gear were freewheeling on the shaft because they're not connected. So you can see in neutral they don't spin at all. Just fifth gear turns and fourth gear turns. So again, we'll go back down into, there's first gear, and I'm easy into neutral. And then when I go to second, you're going to see fifth slide over to engage second, like so. And then we go to third. And now when I shift it into fourth. Whoops. Here's fourth. And once more, fifth. Now, I'm going to see if I can get it to do this, but I know a lot of times guys find a false neutral between third and fourth. So I'm in fifth now. We'll go back to fourth, and then see if I can get this to go just part way instead of all the way into third. No, it went all the way into third. There's fifth again, fourth, third. If I can. Boy, I can't get it to do it now. The other day I was able to get it into this false neutral between third and fourth. Oh, there it was. For just a split second. You could see it not moving. I can't get it to do it again though. But let me slide over here a little bit. Again, if you look through the hole, you can see the clutch shaft. So let's go back down to there. I'm in first. Now what will happen as we shift up, that shaft is going to spin slower and slower. So there's first, second, third, fourth, and there's fifth gear. So there, for guys that have never seen the inside of one of these transmissions, now you've seen the wizardry behind it all. I'm still trying to get it to that false neutral between third and fourth, and can't get it to do it. But anyways, thanks.